Yes, sir.
Okay. So today is the last class for this third module of economics and AI. And for this module, we will have our class test on next Monday. And we will start sharply at 5. And it's a closed book exam. Okay. And before the exam, you keep 7 to 8 A4 sheets paper with you, blank papers, and write name, role, and signature on all the sheets. That is very important. This you do beforehand, so that you don't need to do during the exam time. And so the logistic is that we will give you the question paper. So exam will start at 5. We will give you the question paper, and it will be a PDF, and it will be like an offline exam. Once you have a question paper, you have to answer them on those A4 sheet papers that you have already with you. And after the exam is over, you will be given maybe some 2 to 3 more minutes to take the image of your answer sheets and concatenate it and submit one PDF. So you will get 2 to 3 minutes for taking image, taking photo of your answer scripts. Concatenate it and submit as a single PDF. Okay, so this you can practice before the exam with the mobile app which you find appropriate with you. Okay, so that's it for exam logistic. Do you have any question regarding the exam? So it will have two parts. Whatever Dr. Sunandan Ghosh has taught. So there will be one part from that, and whatever I have taught, there will be another part from it. Okay. So if there is no question, so let's start today's lecture. So in the last three lectures, we have seen mechanism design where money is involved. Using money, we were eliciting sort of truth and implementing a social choice function and those sort of things. Now, let's in this lecture, let's see a classic example of mechanism design without money. Without money. So there are many such settings, and one of the most popular one is the stable matching, or it's also called stable marriage. Stable matching or stable marriage. So what is the setting? The setting is that we have n men, say call it m1 to mn, and n omen, w1 to wn. Each man has a preference ranking over all women, and similarly each woman has a preference ranking over all men. Okay. So for example, the preference ranking for first man may be woman 10 is most preferred, then followed by woman 7, and so on and so forth. But it is a strict order, it's a linear order. Okay, and we are looking for and goal is match men and women um, in a stable manner. Now, what do we mean by in a stable manner? That we will define shortly. But batch means that you see that there are exactly same number of men and women. So, so maybe you one possible matching is that man one M1 is matched with W7, man M2 is matched with W22, and so on and so forth. So each man gets a corresponding woman and vice versa. Okay, and now what do you mean by stable? So to define stable, so let's define what is unstable. When we call a matching to be unstable, and a matching is called unstable if it has what is called a blocking pair. Blocking pair. So let me define what is blocking pair. So, so let me call the set of this set of men as A and the set of women as B. So this blocking pair is with respect to a matching. So let M be a matching. M be a matching, and a pair A comma B of man and woman is called a blocking pair It's called a blocking pair if so. Okay, so let me first tell the intuition. So a pair of man and woman is called a blocking pair if they are willing to change the current matching. They together without any help of any other man and woman, they together mutually are willing to change the current setting. So for example, one possibility is that both are unmatched. That means man A did not get any partner in M, and woman B is also does not get any partner in matching M. So we will assume that every man and woman prefers to get matched compared to remaining unmatched. So one possibility one scenario where this pair of men and women A and B form a blocking pair if both A and B are unmatched. So this is one scenario. Second scenario is that maybe one is unmatched, maybe the man is unmatched. So A is unmatched and B prefers A, then her partner, which is denoted by M of B, M is the matching, her partner M of B in M. Okay, so A is unmatched, so A is available, and the woman B prefers A than her partner, which is MB in the matching. So in that case, B can get rid of her partner, and A and B can form a matching, can get paired up, and hence the matching will change. So in that case also we will say that AB is a blocking pair. The third case is the symmetric opposite. B is unmatched and A prefers B than her partner M of A. And the fourth case is both A and B are matched, but both prefer each other than their corresponding partners. Both A and B are matched, and we have, so the preference or ranking of A is denoted by this subscript A, and according to this preference ranking, B is preferred than the current partner of A. So we have B preferred over M of A in the preference ranking of A, and the preference ranking of B, A is preferred over M of B. Okay, so if this happens, then we say that this pair A comma B is a blocking pair. Question on the definition of blocking pair. So in a free world, a matching will, if a matching M contains a blocking pair, then the matching is unstable because that blocking pair will form a new pair. See that a pair can be a blocking pair only if they are not currently matched with each other. If a pair of men and women A, B are currently matched with each other, then that cannot be a blocking pair. So what is our definition of stable matching? A matching is called stable if it does not contain any blocking pair. Okay, so feel free to interrupt, stop and ask question, unmute and ask question. Okay, so is it clear? Is it sort of obvious for any reason that given a matching instance, given a stable matching instance, that means so what? A stable matching instance means that I am given a set of n men and n women. For each man, I am given a preference ranking over women, and for each woman, I am given a preference ranking over men. So, does that instance always have a stable matching? So, question, does every instance admit a stable matching? And this is the celebrated Gale-Shapley theorem, which is one of the primary reasons because of which both Gale and Shapley got Nobel Prize. They answered this question affirmatively. So, what is this theorem? It says that every instance of stable matching has a stable matching. That means it has a blocking pair, it has a matching which does not have a blocking pair. Moreover, a stable matching can be computed in polynomial time. Which means it can be computed reasonably fast. Question on the statement of Gale-Shapley theorem. Okay. So let me give its proof. It's a very beautiful proof, and the proof is algorithmic. So we will describe an algorithm which is called deferred acceptance algorithm. It has two versions. The version that we will I'll explain now is main proposing deferred acceptance algorithm. So maybe instead of explaining the algorithm, it is really simple algorithm. Let me work out an example. So suppose this is I have 3 men and we have 3 women. Men is say M1, M2, M3. And suppose main one's preference order is say W2, W1, W3. That means the first man prefers W2 most, followed by W1, followed by W3. Then M2 prefers say W1, W3, W2, and maybe the third man prefers say W1, W2, W3. I'm just taking an example, and I'll show you the dry run of this algorithm, main proposing deferred acceptance algorithm, on this example. That way, the algorithm will be much more clear. This is suppose M1, M2, M3. Suppose this is M2, M1, M3. So this is M2, M3, M1. Okay. So as you see, the term is main proposing. So in the beginning, all men and women are unmatched. So here is the algorithm. So if there is a unmatched man, pick an unmatched man. So let's pick an unmatched man, maybe this man M1, and pick the top woman of that man's preference whom he has not proposed. So M1 has not proposed anyone yet, and so the top is W2, and M1 proposes W2. So W2 receives a proposal from M1, and W2 and that woman accepts the proposal if it is beneficial for her, at least in the current stage. So currently W2 is unmatched, and every man and every woman prefers being matched compared to being remaining unmatched. So M1 proposes to W2, and W2 accepts our proposal because W2 is currently unmatched. So now we are sort of tentatively pairing M1 and W2. In the next iteration, I'll again pick an unmatched man. So let me pick say M2, and M2 proposes again according to his preference ranking. So M2 proposes W1, and W1 is also currently unmatched. So W1 accepts M2's proposal. So we are tentatively matching M2 with W1. Then in the next iteration, I have only one unmatched man, namely M3. Let me pick it, and M3 also proposes W1. Okay, but so W1, you see, currently is matched with M2, and she has received a proposal from M3. W1 prefers her current partner M2 compared to M3. So W1 rejects the proposal of M3. So in this iteration, M3 has not got his partner. So in the next iteration again, so M3 remains unmatched in this iteration. So in the next iteration, I have again one unmatched man, namely M3, and then M3 proposes W2 because W1 he has already proposed. So he is now proposing W2, and you see W3 also does not like M3, and in particular prefers her current partner M1. Okay, so let me change it a bit to show some more dynamics. Let's make it M3 and M1. Okay, so if M3 proposes to W2, then W2 likes M3 than her current partner. So W2 breaks with M1, and gets matched with M3. So now M3 is matched, but M1 becomes unmatched. So in the next iteration again, I pick an unmatched man and which is M1, and M1 now proposes W1. Now you see that W1 is currently matched with M2, but W1 prefers M1 more. So W1 breaks with M2 and gets matched with M1. That's how the algorithm proceeds. And M2 becomes unmatched. And now in the next iteration, I will pick an unmatched man, which is M2. And let's see, M2 will propose W3. Now W3 is currently unmatched, and so she prefers getting matched than remaining unmatched. So she accepts the proposal of M2. And now we see that all men are matched, and uh, because the set of number of men and number of women is same, if all men are matched, that means all women are matched. So let's call this matching M. The Gale-Shapley algorithm simply outputs this matching M. So here is the claim. So M, this is the output. So let me now abstractly explain the algorithm. Initially, all men and women are unmatched. In every iteration, I pick an unmatched man. If there is no unmatched man, then I halt and output the current matching. If there is an unmatched man, I pick that man, and according to his preference order, that man proposes the top woman whom he has not proposed yet. Now a woman who receives the proposal compares her current partner or current state if she is unmatched with the proposal and accepts if it makes her happier. And this goes on, and at some stage if it happens that there is no unmatched man, then we output the matching, and the claim is that the matching is a stable matching. So claim this algorithm is called the Gale-Shapley algorithm. The output of Gale-Shapley algorithm is a stable matching. Okay. So is this sort of obvious to anyone? First of all, one thing is clear, that the algorithm runs in polynomial time, because there are only n men and each man can propose at most n women. So here is the observation. The algorithm runs for at most n square iterations. Why? In every iteration, one man is proposing. There are n men, and each preference list is n length long. Each man can in the worst case propose to all the n women. So the number of iterations is at most n square. So this proves the second part, that moreover part, that the a stable matching can be computed in polynomial time. But the non-trivial part or more interesting part is to show that this matching is indeed a stable matching. Proof. First, we observe that first observation is that woman who a woman once matched remains matched forever. Why? Because consider any woman initially see when is the first time she receives a proposal. Before that she was unmatched, and after receiving the proposal she accepts the proposal. So every woman always accepts the first proposal, because before she was unmatched. And now if she receives in the next after few iterations, if she receives any better proposal, then she changes her partner, but she still remains matched. Okay, so that's why woman once matched remains unmatched. Next is um, at termination. So okay, so the algorithm can terminate in two ways. The one way is that all the men are matched, and the another way is that I have found an unmatched man, but that unmatched man has proposed all the women. So our next observation is that the algorithm cannot terminate this way. We cannot have a situation where an unmatched man has proposed every woman and got rejected. Has proposed every woman, yeah. So we can never have an unmatched man who has proposed everyone, who has proposed every woman. Every woman. Hence, the output of the algorithm is always a stable matching. Is always a perfect matching. A matching is called perfect if all men and women are matched. Okay. Okay. Can someone tell me the proof why we can never have a unmatched man who has proposed every woman? Please unmute and answer. Why we cannot have a unmatched man who has proposed every woman?
So because number of men and women are equal, so if the man proposes every woman, then at least one woman will be there who did not get any proposal, so she would accept the man's proposal.
Yes, correct. Very good. So you see, maybe saying in the slightly different way, you see that the number of men and women are same. Now, uh, if there for contradiction's sake, let's say assume that there exists an unmatched man who has proposed everyone. That means what? That means every woman has received at least one proposal. And we have already observed that every woman, any woman who is once matched remains unmatched, and every woman always accepts her first proposal. So if there exists a man who has proposed to all the women, that means all women are matched. And because the number of men and number of women is same, the all women are matched means that all men are also matched, and hence there cannot have a unmatched man. Okay, very good. So it's a perfect matching. So we need to show next that it's a stable matching. And the only what is the definition of a stable matching? That it does not have a blocking pair. And if because all men and women are matched, so the only way it cannot have a it cannot be stable. That means it can have a blocking pair. Mm, the only way it can have a blocking pair is this by 4. That means if there exists a pair of men and women who are not matched with each other, but they prefer each other compared to their current partner. So we will now show that there is no blocking pair. So let A be any man and B be any woman, and A is not equal to MB. That means A and B are not currently matched with each other. We will show that AB is not a blocking pair. Why that should be the case? Again, for contradiction, let us assume that AB is a blocking pair. AB is a blocking pair. That means what? That means in the ranking of A, B is preferred more than the current partner of A, and in the ranking of B, A is preferred more than the current partner of B. Now can someone find a contradiction? Why this sort of scenario cannot happen? Think for someone, it is think for some time. It is not very difficult. And once we show this, we are done. So what it means, if I look at the preference ranking of A, say, yeah, A, then B comes before the partner of A, and in the preference ranking of B, A comes before the partner of B. Now what is what is wrong if this happens?
B would have proposed A in some point of time,
A would
and
have
she would have
A would have
accepted.
proposed B. Yeah, yeah, very nice, excellent, excellent, excellent.
And
Yeah, carry on.
so in the next, like after, when in the preference ranking of B, when MB proposes to B, she would not accept.
Exactly, exactly. Very good. So let me explain. He has already explained perfectly. You see that A is matched with MA, and A started proposing from his top place. So A must have proposed B before proposing to MA. So B must have received a proposal from A. Now, and she rejected the proposal of M. Rejected the proposal. B rejected the proposal of A. That means at that time when B rejected the proposal of MA, she was matched with somewhere here. Now at that time when she got the proposal from MB, she has no reason to accept the proposal from MB, and hence this contradicts the I don't know the algorithm, the functioning of the algorithm Gale-Shipley functioning of the Gale-Shipley algorithm. So this is the contradiction. Okay. Question on the proof of this theorem. Okay. So now, this stable matching is one of the most well-studied topic in, I don't know, in the literature of economics and game theory and computer science also. It is sort of among the most well-studied literature. So let me state a few more properties without proof. In the description of the Gale-Shipley algorithm, many things are not mentioned explicitly. For example, there is lots of non-determinism. For example, we are saying that in every step you pick a unmatched man, but if there is more than one unmatched man, whom to pick? So what I am saying is that when we implement this algorithm in a programming language, many different implementations will pick different unmatched mans in the iterations in some different order, and so this is called right. We are not specifying which unmatched man to pick. Okay, but the surprising thing is that it does not matter how you pick or which unmatched man you pick, the output is always same. However, many of these results of this around this stable matching is so fascinating and so surprising. However, the choice of unmatched men does not change the outcome, does not change the output. So again, understand exactly what I am saying. in a stable matching instance, there can be more than one solutions. There can be more than one stable matchings. But I'm saying that all the different runs of this Gale-Shipley algorithm, depending on how you are picking the unmatched man, of course, all the outputs will be stable matching. That we have proved that the output of the stable Gale-Shipley algorithm is stable matching, is a stable matching. But here we are saying something stronger. The output will be the exactly same stable matching. If there are 10 stable matchings, and if I take 10, I don't know, 100 different implementations of this Gale-Shipley algorithm, depending on which unmatched man I am picking, the output will be the exactly same stable matching, not different stable matchings. Okay. Here is another interesting thing. This I am stating without proof. Some proofs are easy, some proofs are a little more non-trivial. Proofs are not part of syllabus. You just enjoy the beauty. So here you see that the idea of stability is sort of safeguarding matching with respect to a pair of men and women. So a natural question is that, can we think of a matching which is stable with respect to more than one men and women? Let me tell slowly. A matching is stable if there or a matching okay, a matching is stable if there is no one man and one woman who can get matched with each other and who are not currently matched. Can we extend these two? So here is a matching. Say let's call it group stability, and let's call a matching to be group stable if there does not exist a subset of men and women who can change the partners among themselves so that everyone is happier. It turns out that no, that in the stable matching itself, it cannot happen that a set of men and a set of women can change their partners among themselves and become everyone happy. And such a thing, such a notion of stability is called a code allocation. So stable matching is a code allocation. Okay. Last but not the least, here we have explained men proposing deferred acceptance algorithm, where men are proposing to women. Here, men proposing deferred acceptance algorithm. One can symmetrically think of women proposing deferred acceptance algorithm. It turns out that the men proposing deferred acceptance algorithm is the best one among all stable matchings which are best for men. From men's perspective, among all stable matchings which make all the men the most happier, the happiest is the men proposing stable matching. This is called the men optimal stable matching. Let me write this way. The output of men proposing deferred acceptance algorithm is men optimal. Let me explain what do I mean by that. So you look at any man, say M1, and look at his preference order. I don't know. Maybe M1 is getting matched with this particular, maybe 10th woman. Now this matching is best for M1 in the sense that there does not exist any stable matching where this man M1 gets partner better than the partner that he is getting in the main optimal stable matching. And this holds simultaneously not only for M1 but also for all men. This is main optimal. And simultaneously it is omen pessimal, main optimal and omen pessimal. That means if you look at any woman and see which man she is getting matched with, there does not exist any stable matching where this woman gets any worse partner. And this is true not only for women W1, this holds simultaneously for all women W1 to Wn. Question. I haven't proved these statements. These statements are not difficult to prove, but not as easy as the proof of Gale-Shapley theorem. Again, the proof is not part of syllabus. But this Gale-Shapley, except the proof of these statements, other things are part of the syllabus. Question. Okay, so let me stop here. So the syllabus will be, for my part, the syllabus will be auctions, that what we have taught in the last 3 lectures, and stable matching, elementary stable matching till the proof of Gale-Shapley theorem and these statements. Here is the exam details again. For some of you who may have come late, we will have our class test for this module on Monday from 5 p.m. It will be a closed book exam. You keep 7 to 8 A4 sheet papers, write name and roll number clearly on top of each page and put signature. That is very important. If we get a page without signature, then we won't evaluate it. And you practice how to quickly take photos of your answer sheets, concatenate it and submit it as a single PDF. We will get 2 to 3 minutes extra exclusively for that task. Okay, is there any question regarding stable matching or regarding the logistics of class test?
Sir, can you provide some sample questions like in the last module last sir provided?
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, so so I'll put some sample questions on MS Teams maybe today or tomorrow. Yeah, I think that is very important. Yeah.
And it would be helpful if you could make that 2 to 3 minutes 5 minutes, sir, maybe, because
Yes,
sometimes.
sure. We'll make it 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else? Okay, so if there is no more questions, so let me stop here. So we'll meet tomorrow. You will have a regular class for the next module, and Monday we will have a class test for this module. Okay, thank you then.